Hello friends, welcome again in online session of oil, hydraulic and pneumatic. Myself Praveen Jinjala from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. In today's session, we will discuss about the pneumatic actuator. Means it is final applications of pneumatic system. We can also say actuator, it is example of linear for cylinders, and for rotary we can also say the air motor which convert the pressurized energy into the rotary motion. So let's start our session. First of all, we discuss about the what is pneumatic actuator or what is a requirement or what is function of actuator. Actuator, it is final applications of pneumatic system. It will be output device for the conversions of supply energy into useful works. It is opposite function to the compressor. Compressor will be supply the compressed air to the system, or it will be convert the mechanical energy into the pressurized energy or hydraulic energy. While the actuator will be convert pressurized energy or hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy. So the actuator, it is final component of application. So the selection of the actuator, it is depends upon the requirement, application, space availability or capacity of system. So we can throughout session we will discuss about the what is actuator, different types of actuator, construction and working of hydraulic and pneumatic actuator is almost similar, but difference between the hydraulic and pneumatic actuator is in pneumatic actuator we will use for compressed air or neutral gases, while in hydraulic actuator it is used for the compressed or pressurized hydraulic fluid as like the hydraulic oil. So there is the second difference between the hydraulic and pneumatic actuator is in pneumatic actuator it will be light in weight, because in pneumatic actuator it is operate on normal pressure as like the 5 to 10 bar, while hydraulic actuator operate at a higher pressure as like the operating up to the 700 bar or up to the 1000 bar pressure. So the difference mainly between the hydraulic and pneumatic is in pneumatic we are using at a lightweight actuator and it is generally used for the lightweight and lightweight material, while hydraulic system we have to design at a strengther actuator. Remaining function is almost same as like the hydraulic and pneumatic actuator. This is the example of actuator. Generally there are the two types of actuator, linear and rotary. Example of linear actuator is single acting cylinder. Second example is double acting cylinder or extractor, double rod, double acting or single acting. It is according to requirement we can select. Second types of actuator is rotary actuator. An example of pneumatic rotary actuator is like the air motor or semi-rotary actuator. Air motor, it will be used for conversions of pressurized energy into rotary motion. So according to the requirement and according to the application, we can select the linear or rotary actuator. If we require the reciprocating motion or linear motion, so we have to select the linear actuator. If we require the rotary motion for particular operation, it's like the automatic material transfer, material parting, material handling, so we have to select the air motor for require the rotary motion. Now we will discuss about the in detail step by step different types of actuator used in pneumatic system. First example of pneumatic actuator is single acting actuator. Means piston will be operate only for in one direction. So it's called single acting actuator. Here the inlet, whenever we supply the pressurized air to the cylinder, so cylinder piston will be extract and it will be retract due to the spring mechanism. So according to requirement we can select. If you supply the compressed air, so we get the linear motion, and if we cut out or if we exhaust air to the atmosphere, so piston will be comes in original position due to the spring mechanism. Here also you can see the component of the single acting cylinder. This is the inlet, outlet, compressed air, and remaining component is like the piston, piston rod, piston seal, extractor. So these are the main component of single acting cylinder. In Operation of single acting cylinder, we have to utilize the direction control valve as like a 2x2 or 3x2 direction control valve. So the operation of single acting cylinder only for two types of valve use 2x2 and 3x2 direction control valve. This is also one type of ram, means we can also utilize the single acting cylinder for horizontal and for vertical operation, and these are the two symbols of single acting cylinder. If we supply the compressed air, so it will be extract. If we disconnect the supply air, or if we exhaust the air to atmosphere, so it will be comes in original position due to the spring mechanism. But we can also operate in vertical direction, so it's called a ram if we operate in vertical direction. And second difference between the single acting and ram is, in ram piston and piston rod diameter it will be same, so it's called ram, and it is generally used in vertical operation, while the single acting cylinder mostly used for the horizontal in position. Next is double acting cylinder. Same as like the piston will be operate on both sides, so it's called double acting cylinder. You can also see here the animation diagram. Whenever we supply the compressed air, so cylinder will be extract and piston will be moved left to the right hand side. If we supply the reverse direction, so piston will be moved to the left hand side and left hand side fluid will be goes to the exhaust to the atmosphere. And this is also example of double acting cylinder, and this is the 5x2 direction control valve. If compressor will be connected to the first position, so cylinder will be extract, and in second position it will be in retract position. So it will be operated on both side of piston, so it's called double acting cylinder. And it is advantageous because in double acting cylinder we get the fast response compared to the single acting cylinder. Next is double acting cylinder with cushioning, means it is one type of mechanism used for the protect of cylinder. What's happened at a end of piston moment, it will be strike to the cylinder head and it will be create the vibration into the cylinder's head. So this type of vibration, it will be reduced by utilization of cushioning assembly. What's happened at the end of stroke, here the one type of conical shape will be inserted. So what's happened at the end of piston stroke, remaining fluid will be create the back pressure and it will be create the opposite force to the piston, and velocity of piston or piston speed will be decreased. So it's called cushioning assembly. It is similar to the hydraulic system, but here the difference is in pneumatic system it is used for the lightweight in operation, and we have to also utilize one type of non-return valve for performing of this type of fluid. Whenever piston will becomes at the end of cylinder, so the remaining fluid will be create the back pressure and it will be reduce the velocity of piston. So it's called cushioning assembly. You can also see here is also one type of single acting cylinder used for the cushioning assembly. Or we can also operate on double acting cylinder. So it's called double acting cylinder for double cushioning. So according to requirement and according to application, we can use the cushioning assembly and cylinder. Next is tandem double acting cylinder. Application of tandem double acting cylinder is large force is required, but the cylinder diameter is restricted. So this type of cylinder generally used in industry because according to space availability for pneumatic system, we can also operate the same cylinder for large force outlet, in which there are the two piston but only for one cylinder or one piston rod. So it's called tandem double acting cylinder. Here the two input and two output, but only for one cylinder and one piston rod. So we can easily multiply the force. If we let take one example, if we supply the port here for first piston and also supply the second piston same time, so what's happened? Both piston will be divert the force to the piston rod and we get the large force. So it's called tandem double acting cylinder. And you can also see here the animation. Two piston used for the operation of one shaft for larger in power out. Next is cylinder with through piston rod, or it's also called double acting cylinder with double side rod. And this is the symbols of double acting cylinder with double rod. Means there is the throughout the piston rod. Here the only for one piston, one is input, second side is output. And in opposite direction, here the input, so here will be out. So this is the only one type of double acting cylinder, but in which we have to operate in both sides. So this is the advantages of double acting cylinder for double rod. We can also operate on both side of cylinder, or we can also perform the operation on both side of cylinder. So it's called cylinder with throughout piston rod, or double acting cylinder with double rod. Here this is the piston and this is the cylinder. Whenever we supply the compressed air from this side, so this rod will be moved to this direction, and here the fluid will be goes to the exhaust. If we supply the compressed air to this side, so this rod will be moved to this direction, and this type of fluid will be goes to the exhaust. So it is advantageous to compare to the double acting cylinder. We can perform on both side of operation to the cylinder. Next is multi-positioning cylinder. Means according to requirement, we can also operate the two piston in single cylinder in opposite direction, or we can also operate in same direction according to the requirement. And this type of generally used for the only for single cylinder and two piston in opposite direction. Here we can also say the two input and two outlet, or we can also combination of two single acting cylinder. So it's called multi-positioning cylinder. Here you can also say that we can operate on both direction or in both sides for particular application. This type of cylinder generally used in industry for the extraction and retraction of same cylinder and different piston rod in opposite direction. Here you can also say the example, this is the 100, we can also extract 100 to 200, 300, or we can also extract in opposite direction. So here the only for one cylinder, two piston and two piston rod for different particular application. Next is rotary cylinder. It will be convert the pressurized energy into rotary motion. So it's called rotary cylinder. Here the two piston, piston 1 and piston 2, and it will be connected to the reciprocating motion. And this reciprocating motion, it will be converted by utilizations of rack and pinion, or by utilizations of gear. Whenever we supply the compressed air to this direction, so this piston rod will be moved to this direction, and this gear will be rotate. So it will be convert pressurized energy into rotary motion, or we can also say that it will be convert the semi-rotary motion. If we supply the pressurized fluid to this piston side, so this spool will be moved to this direction, and we can also get the rotary motion. So it's called rotary cylinder. Means it will be convert pressurized energy into rotary motion. And this is the practical diagram. We can also arrange the different types of mechanism as like the piston rod, gear, and we can also get the rotary motion. Next is air motor. Means device used for conversions of pressurized energy into rotary motion. So it's called air motor. There is the difference between the hydraulic motor and air motor. In hydraulic motor, we supply the compressed fluid or pressurized fluid as like the pressurized liquid to convert the hydraulic energy into rotary motion. While in air motor, we use the compressed air or neutral gases for conversions of hydraulic energy into rotary motion. So that is the difference. In hydraulic system, we use the compressed or pressurized liquid, while in pneumatic system, we use the compressed or neutral gases. There are the many types of motor, air motor is available. It's like the reciprocating, rotary, according to the requirement or according to the application, we can select the different types of air motor. Here the example of radial type air motor. Whenever we supply the different compressed air to the different types of piston cylinder arrangement, so we can also get the high rotational motion. So the main function of air motor is to convert the pressurized energy into mechanical energy in form of rotary motion. So we can also say that it is one type of rotary component or opposite function to the compressor. Now we will discuss about the symbols generally used in pneumatic cylinder, as like this is the single acting cylinder, multi-rod cylinder, double acting cylinder with Cushioning assembly, double acting cylinder, or double rod double acting cylinder. So these are the symbols of different actuator used in pneumatic system: single acting, multi-rod, double acting, double cushioning, double rod, double acting, double rod type cylinder. Now we will discuss about the selection criteria for actuator. If you want to use pneumatic system for application, so you have to select the different types of actuator according to the requirement. So there are the many criteria for selection. First one is motion profile. Which type of motion you have to require, linear or rotary? If you want to require for linear motion, so we have to select the linear actuator. And if you require the for automation or material handling or partition for rotary motion, so we have to select the air motor. Second is impact on cleanness and safety. According to the cleanness and safety, we can select the different types of actuator. Third one is durability and maintenance. How its durability, its life, it is also depends. And ambient noise, which type of noise is allowed for the pneumatic system, it is also one type of selection criteria. Energy efficiency, what is efficiency of actuator, how many types of energy it will be converted into rotary or reciprocating motion. Then after the space efficiency, availability of space, integrated with other applications. As like the pneumatic system, there are the many components, as like the different types of control valve, compressor, as like the filter, regulator, lubricator. So according to the space availability and space requirement, we can also select the actuator. And next is total cost of operation. It is major aspect for actuator, because according to the requirement, we can also select the actuator according to the cost. If you require the heavy pneumatic system, so its cost will be increased. If you require the normal operation, so cost will be reduced. So according to the pressure range, according to the material, or according to the environmental condition, its cost will be vary. Thank you.